some, maybe we'll take one question from the sisters, because there's still so many questions, but we're not going to make this a nikah seminar. We are not going to make this a nikah seminar. This afternoon, we were in a halaqah with the sisters, and it was a 45-minute question answer session. Every question was the same. It was about combining prayers. So we need to move on. We need to finish this book, Kitab al-Hiyal. So we'll begin with some questions, and I will say my mother-in-law is in the audience, and we are talking about the daughters, but with the sons, it's different. I've always felt, for the record, and I'm saying it publicly, she has always treated me like a son, and sometimes better than her own sons. Well, alhamdulillah. It's not here. Somebody has to tell her. 40. I don't know. I think it might be verification.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
So there's one question from the sister.
Oh yeah, you can ask question, but let me make one. Best thing is, whatever Allah is teaching or the message teaching, it's not something secret or something you cannot understand really. It is all what is your fitrah and what reasoning you can know really. Everybody knows that when you have a contract, it should be clear. If somebody hides something, it means there's something wrong. In a contract, hiding any contract, like if I buy something, sell something, a marriage is more important than that. Any contract where one person hides something, then there is something wrong. That's what makes it a problem. The contract, every detail must be very clear, known to both parties. Then they agree, then that's the right contract. That's what Islam wants. Allah wants to make your life easier, does not want to create a problem. To anybody who hides something, play trick, they're the one who harm me. So Islam, what Bukhari wants to say, if you marry properly. Proper contract between husband and wife, rights should be known, dowry should be given. Somebody is saying in Afghanistan, they name Mahr something else. If it names something else, but everybody think it is Mahr, then fine. But if it is trick, then no. Then she has right to get the Mahr properly. So there should be never any trick in the marriage or any contract. So when trick comes, you should know yourself that it's not right. There's no need to ask me. But anyway, if there's a question, please ask. What is the question?
With the hiding and with tricks. So what category would this fall into the category if there is a husband and he has a current wife, yet he's secretly in the company of a single woman, and when confronted with this, he says, oh, I could marry her. Okay. But he doesn't fully maintain his current wife and haven't paid her full mark. So with the hiding and
Yeah, thing is really, no doubt Islam allows men to have more than one wife, up to 4. But the condition is that the man should provide each one of them proper mahr, proper accommodation, expenses, same thing. If he does that very clearly, make contract properly, then there's no harm. Then the women will be happy because they are not losing, because they get house, they got accommodation, expenses, all those things, and they see their husband less. So that's what everybody wants anyway. So that's not you get everything and see the husband less. But the problem is when people cheat. That was the problem. They don't still, so they basically don't pay mahr. They don't go to each wife properly. They don't provide accommodation properly. Then no religion will accept it. Allah will not accept. So marriage must be done properly, very clearly. All the rights must be given to both wives, 3 wives. It's not easy. So if you do, yeah, then find your brave person to provide accommodation, same accommodation to both wives, same expenses to both wives, and you have same numbers of the day to both wives. If you do justice to both of them, you will get reward. But if you are going to cheat anybody or harm anybody, then it is not right. Then Allah will never accept, and it is not allowed in the religion. Most people, when they get married, they do cheating and they do things which are not right. And they say, I'm allowed. No, you are not allowed like that. You are allowed with the fair. Quran said, do justice. And Quran says, if you don't do justice, فَوَاحِدَةً, then marry one woman. So if man cannot provide proper justice to all wives, then he is not allowed to marry one, except one. Even one, actually, if you can't be fair to one woman, then you are not allowed to marry anybody. Because yeah, contract is contract. You are not allowed to harm anybody. That's what the Prophet ﷺ said. Oh, young people among you, those who can afford the marry, meaning is those who can pay mahr, can provide accommodation expenses, then they should get married. If they can't do that, then don't marry, keep fasting. This excuse that, I'll fall in sin and this thing and that way, it is your problem. You keep fasting. You cannot make a woman to suffer because of your problem. So that must be known. Don't use this argument that since I'm going to fall in sin, I allowed to marry. No, you are not allowed to marry. There are two conditions. First is this, okay, you have desire. Second condition is you must provide accommodation and expenses to your wife and mahr everything. If you do that, then you're allowed to marry. If you cannot do that, then it is your problem. You have to solve it. But you cannot make any suffering for somebody else. Is it clear? Yeah. Okay, so let's move. Otherwise, it will become chapter of the marriage only. So the next chapter is باب ما يكره من الاحتيال في البيوع ولا يمنع فضل الماء ليمنع به فضل الكلاء. What happening is people do trick in everything really. They sell something and they describe it very high quality, but actually they know it is low quality. People always cheat in the buying and selling. This is not allowed. You have to provide proper description. If something is this quality, mention the quality. Don't pretend that is a higher quality. I remember one of my actually nearest friend in Oxford. If you ask me who's the best friend, he's the best friend in Oxford. So I was in need of to buy a car, and I don't know about car anything. So I said, he's my friend. I said to him, I'm looking for a car. He said, take my car, buy from me. So I think, what can be better than that? I don't need to go in here or there. I bought a car from him, and then the car has a problem. Too much, petrol and all those things. So I said to him, there is something wrong with the car. It doesn't look like, so much. So what happened? He said, that's why I sold to you. I was thinking, he's my friend, I trusted him. He sold me because it's not good. Is the thing. So I didn't actually claim anything, but I was thinking really that I trusted him, and he actually said that's why he sold to me, because it's not a good car. So this is not right. If people do cheating, I sorry. He's still your best friend. Yeah, he's still because I forgave him. So he's still a friend, but I'm trying to say I'm learning that this is what happened. So even your best friend, you cannot trust. This all the time keep happening. That's what Allah wants the people to be clear. Contract means contract. Even if you are, if you do contract between your wife and your mother, your father, it should be clear. Even within the family, contract must be very clearly described, defined properly. So no cheating, no ambiguity, anytime. All the problem happens because one of the party has bad intention. That's what Bukhari is concerned. That be very, very clear. Even when people sell land, sometimes they hide something. They sell anything, they keep hiding many things. And I've seen really so many times I've been deceived. I bought a computer from one of my friends. It was so much problem. Then I have to basically lose. So many times keep happening. Reason is because I don't have a understanding of this matter. First thing. Second thing, don't have time. So I just trust in the first person, and then I do it, and I get problem. So this is what, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He knows, so He gives barakah. So, Allah is the one who gives barakah. But people, they want to exploit you. They want to harm you. So this is anybody who cheats has no barakah. Simple matter. If Allah does not give you barakah, you never can prosper. You think you are clever. You are not clever. By deceiving somebody, you become lower in the eye of Allah. Now He's going to harm you. You will see. And the other person, Allah will give you all the barakah. All the happen. Your cheating is going to harm you. That's why they say in Persian language, Chah kanra, chah dar pesh. The one who dig the well, to everybody falls in it, he is the first person to fall because it is in front of him. And the Quran says, La yahiqul makru sayyu illa bi ahlihi. Whenever people make a conspiracy, a trick, it actually harms the person who makes it. He is the one who is going to be, it will come after a while because Allah wants to test him. So don't do this thing, simple matter. So anyway, Bukhari said that in hila, in the buying and selling, is disliked. And also, وَلَا يُمْنَعُ فَضْلُ الْمَاءِ لِيُمْنَعَ بِهِ فَضْلُ الْكَلَى is the grass. So what happening is in those days, actually in the farmer life anywhere. So I have got my well, water supply, which I do. And then next to my water supply, my well, there is a field which has a lot of grass, which is public. Anybody can come and make their animals to graze there. Public thing. My intention is that this grass only should be used by my animals, not yours. So I know if you come with your animals to graze there, your animals need to drink water. Otherwise, you'll go to somewhere where there's water because after they eat grass, they need water. So what I said to the people, yeah, grass is for anybody, public, but water is mine. I don't have any spare water. You can't drink water from me. My intention is not really water. My intention, since I will not give water, you will not use grass. That's my intention is. And sometimes trick is even bigger than that because my intention is to sell the water. So I said to the person, I don't have any spare water or anything. You can come and graze, take the grass. Your animal can come, but there's no water. And you think, where I go for water, the grass is so nice and this and that. They say, can you sell me? I said, no, I can't sell. It is very expensive for me and this thing and that thing until I make huge price. So my intention is to sell the water, and I make all this trick. So the Prophet said, don't do this thing. If there's public grass and you have got spare water, don't hide. Don't say you don't have. Let people drink water. Water is also from Allah. Unless you are really right, true. The water is only enough for you and your animal. Nobody else can. But if you have got a spare water, the only reason you're denying it, so people can't use the grass, it is not right. Is it clear to everybody?
But the property belongs to who?
It's public property. Like in those public properties, there used to be grass field. Anybody can come. Like still in India and many places, there are those fields where anybody can take their animal and have grass. Next to that field, you have got your own well, your own water, a pond, something like that. It is your property. It's not public. But still, it's water. Anybody can come drink. But you want to play trick. You don't want people to come and take grass. So you say, yeah, you can graze grass, but water is mine. So you think, but then what? How my animals will live? Then you have to go far somewhere else where there is water and grass both. So that people used to play trick. The Prophet said, don't do this thing. So you see how people play trick, even in this matter. And when Bukhari is writing the book, it is very early. It is so close to that time the Prophet said, even that time, human being wants always to find a way, always want to cheat. Always what? Shaitan always play with their mind. All the time keep doing. True people, honest people, they are very, 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 very few people. One of the muhaddis says, and he's written that my cousins went to study hadith to someone, a teacher in the village. Then when they came, the teacher was working in his field. So the student said that, we have come to learn hadith from you. He said, are you learning for the sake of Allah? They said, yes. He said, I'm having my field. If you can help me for the sake of Allah, so I can do, all my. Then I say, all my cousins helped him for all the field, farming, everything until evening. Then they said him, now narrate hadith. He said, you did for the sake of Allah, and my intention not there. I don't have any sincerity to go. I can't narrate hadith because I only narrate when I'm sincere. Then they came back and they cursing the teacher that we wasted all that our time, to help him for the sake of Allah. And when the time came to narrate hadith, he said, I don't have intention. I don't have sincerity. So, you can see really in every field there are problems with the people. All the time keep doing. That what Allah does not like. So به قال حدثنا إسماعيل قال حدثنا مالك عن أبي الزناد عن الأعرج عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا يمنع فضل الماء ليمنع به فضل الكلاء. Hadith is from Ismail ibn Abi Uwais. Ismail ibn Abi Uwais died in the year 226. He is a nephew of Malik. And he is son of Imam Malik's sister, Ismail. And later on, Malik married his daughter Fatima to Ismail. So he's very close to Imam Malik. But the problem is Ismail is not a great clever man. He learned from his uncle Malik. He got Muwatta. So he's good person. People come and learn from him. But himself is not very intelligent, not very clever. He does not know so much sound hadith, weak hadith. So that's why muhaddithin always have been criticizing. So among the hadith that have been criticized in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim both is what Bukhari and Muslim take from Ismail. Actually, Muslim has taken only one or twice. Bukhari the one who take from Ismail most of the time. So this is one of the criticism against Bukhari, that how do you narrate from someone like Ismail ibn Uwais, who is a weak narrator. And we have different for Bukhari, because Bukhari, the hadith of Malik, Bukhari has got from many people. It's a well-written book. From Tinnisi, from Qanabi, from so many people. Bukhari, the way when he repeats hadith, he always want to bring a new isnad. So Ismail basically used by him just for support. Original hadith is known to everybody. So there's no hadith in Sahih Bukhari which is weak. Weaker narrator does not mean hadith weaker. It's a book from book. Muwatta. Everybody has got Muwatta. This person is weak narrator, not from. Why Bukhari like Ismail? Why he narrates from him? Because Ismail loved Bukhari very much. When Bukhari came from Bukhara and he stayed in Medina, Ismail loved his student Bukhari very much. And actually, not only that, he loved his intelligence, cleverness, and he said to Bukhari, look in my book and find what is sound hadith, mark it. Then Bukhari helped him and mark the books of his teacher. These are the hadiths that sound. You narrate that. So so whenever his students used to come, he'd say, these are hadiths marked by my student Bukhari, copy them. Students of the knowledge say that some of them that we came from Bukhara and Samarkand, and we knew that Ismail loves Bukhari. So we said to Bukhari, if you can ask him to teach us more hadith, because we are in rush going from Medina to somewhere else, if you can do more. So Bukhari said to Ismail, if these are people have come from Central Asia, they are in rush. If you can teach them every day a little bit more, so they can finish the book very quickly. Ismail said, oh slave girl, he asked the slave girl, bring the gold dinar. And then she got the gold dinar. Bukhari said, no, they just want hadith, they don't want money. He said, no, if somebody come through you, then I have to respect. First he gave everybody dinar, then he narrated more hadith. That's how he led Bukhari. So you can see there's a close relation between Bukhari and between him. So Bukhari knows he's weak, so he does not rely on him, but still he narrates from him. So this Ismail ibn Abi Uwais, nephew of Imam Malik, died in the year 226. He narrates from Imam Malik from his uncle, who died in the year 179. Al-Malik narrates from Abu Zinad, the Medinan Imam, one of the great narrator, who died in the year 130. 130. Abu Zinad's name is Abdullah ibn Zakwan. Abdullah ibn Zakwan. He narrates from A'raj. Al-A'raj. A'raj is Abdul Rahman ibn Hurmuz al-A'raj. Died in the year 117. And he narrates from Abu Huraira. To according to Muhaddithin, the best isnad for the hadith of Abu Huraira is Abu Zinad an al-A'raj an Abi Huraira. So this is one of the best isnad in the world. So always look for that. Like when you read a hadith of Sufyan Thawri, you should know what the best isnad. When you see that one, you should become happy. This is such a great isnad. Like Sufyan Thawri narrated from Mansur from Ibrahim from Alqama from Abdullah and Mas'ud, and then from Prophet. Some people say this is the best isnad in the whole world. Muhaddithin used to say this isnad is as you lift the curtain and you see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is so strong isnad. That is the same. Bukhari said Malik and Nafi and Umar. It is golden chain of narration. Most sound isnad. So there are some isnad. If you see them, you become certain that this must be from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in the hadith of Abu Huraira, this one is the best isnad. Abu Zinad and al-A'raj and Abu Huraira. That Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, La yumna'u fadlul ma'i la yumna'a bihi fadlul kala'i. So nobody should prevent a spare of the water because you want to stop basically the grass. You don't want other people's animal to eat the grass, so you say, don't drink my water. Intention is, then they don't bring their camels, and then all grass becomes yours. That's how intention is. It reminds me a story of one of Urdu writer, is a short story writer. His name is Shaukat Thanvi. So he has written a story because in India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, what happens is everybody is scared of jinn possession. The people are not scared of anything other than jinn. He said, I had a large family, so I rented a house. And next to this house was another house. The owner has two houses. So the other house didn't, nobody want renting, so it was empty. So we used to use it. So paying rent for one and using both of them because there nobody there. Then a trick came to my mind. I made rumor, then in the next house, Ginny lives. That. So whenever anybody comes to see the house, I will show and say, no, it is very nice house and I'm neighbor and this. The only problem is Jinn live there. So nobody will come. Every time that's there. So basically paying rent of one house, living in two houses. He said, then I am Maulana. He came. So when I said to him, the only problem is there is Jinn. He said, no, I'm Maulana. I'm not scared of Jinn. So it became a problem for me. Now the Maulana, he's so brave and this and that. And now he's going to live. What will do? Because my family used to sleep in both houses. But he insisted. I said to him, be careful and all that. But he said, no, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of the jinn. Then anyway, he got the house and he slept. I said, I must do something. Then in the night, I put on black cloak, all those things. And I jumped in the house, started throwing stones on him. So when he saw it, became so scared and reading La hawla wala quwwata illa billah, a'udhu billah, all those du'as that he know, and so scared that, and then I came back my home, and in the morning, he has gone. So by this, he said, now I'm safer. I'm paying rent of one house and live in the two houses. So that's how people do. So the intention here is just take all the grass. And what you're saying is, yeah, you can eat grass, but you can't have water. So then basically, who's going to come there? So that is cheating. The Prophet said, don't do this trick. Your intention is not really water. Your intention is to nobody can come and have their animals to get the grass. So many people all make such huge planning. All these plannings are wrong. Human beings should be straightforward. They should be kind. They should be helpful to everybody. That's what should be. But never. I remember really one of my friend in Lucknow. He's from a noble family, rich to his back like Nawab basically, very huge palace. But his parent died, so he is alone in the house. And he's a student at the ulama. He does not need the house, he's staying with us. He said one of the leading alim in Lucknow, he came to stay there from one of the very big, religious group. So I was thinking my house is empty. He did not have house. I said, okay, you stay in my house, paying no rent. He said, then he occupied. He's alim. He's actually, I gave as a favor. Then it took ages and ages to take the court case and this thing and that thing. Huge problem until he was able to make the house empty. He said, I gave the house out of favor for nothing. Just think. This is how people do in this world. You do favor and then you have to suffer. So that the Prophet said, the people should not do this. The problem always with the people is that if a people live really with the right intention, truth, then in this world, everybody can live nicely. People will help each other. But some people, somehow, they don't want to like that. They always want to cheat. And you will see really, people who have more money, they cheat more. All billionaires, when they cheat, I just ask them, why are you cheating? You already have so much money, you're never going to use anyway. Why are you cheating? But they still cheat. And they cheat against who? Those who have little money. They keep cheating. This is really making the sin so much that you cannot imagine how sinful human being is. Then next one, باب ما يكره من التناجش. به قال حدثنا قتيبة بن سعيد عن مالك عن نافع عن ابن عمر أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى عن النجش. What is تناجش? تناجش is I'm selling something like many computers. And I am cheater. So what I do, I've got my friends, agents, 2 or 3 people, that as soon as the customer comes, you come. So the customer wants me that, how much is the computer? I say, pay me $500. He said, no, I'm going to pay only $300. The price, everywhere $300. Then this person comes and says, oh, such a nice computer. Can you give me for $600? Then the customer says, actually, he must be right, because there's somebody coming and even giving $600. So then he said, no, okay, I'll give 500, because he think no, otherwise he'll give to the other person. This other person is not going to buy. He's my agent. I just made him to he can come increase the price. So this person is deceived and he pays. That's what tanajush means. You see how people have been cheating. So that's tanajush happen, and this actually happening in India on a large scale on these shrines. So have you heard the name of Ajmer Sharif? To one of the Indian Sufi saint, Khaja Mu'inuddin Chishti. He's one of the earliest one. He's buried in Ajmer. So the people who are there in the shrine, they want to make money. So they make rumors all over India. If you come there and you ask anything, you'll get. Just come to shrine. You pay money and all those things, they come. So what they do, they have their agents in the city, on the station, everywhere. So when you come from the station out, somebody will come. Oh, assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam. Where are you coming? Oh, I'm coming to Khaja Sahib. Why? Oh, I don't have a son. I want to, if I can get a son. So he'll say, oh, you came to the right place. I myself, you had no son. And I came here and I got the son. So you say, I got a illness, this disease, my son has. So he'll say, oh, yeah, you came to the right place. Actually, my family, somebody had the same disease and came here, he was cured. All of these people keep lying all the city, and you come there, you pay all the money, and you never cured. You're not going to tell anybody. These are agents who the words are published everywhere. They will keep telling. This is actually a long story, all the deception everywhere, and people accept it. People think it's all right. With the name of the shrine, in India, the huge business. The way in India is, if you don't get a job, the way is make a grave and sit. Money will come to you. So somebody made a grave and he was sitting next to it because he did not get a job. He applied, he did not get a job. He made a grave and sitting there. Somebody came to him and asked him that, can you make dua so I can get a job? So somebody was sitting there. He said, this person himself did not have a job. Therefore, he made this grave. And now how can I give it to you? But this is all the people doing. There's actually a grave in Lucknow, grave of a horse. Horse died and the person made a grave. And now people come there and pay money there. You can make anything really. You can make something here in New Jersey that this is grave of Ayyub alayhi salam, the prophet. Then most people will not care where Ayyub was, how can he came here, nothing. They will come and give you money. You can make any business with any of these things. These are tricks in a place by all the people. Son, you want daughter, you want children, all this thing happening. So that the prophet said, Babu ma yukrahu min at-tanayush, in the buying and selling. Hadith is from Qutayba ibn Sa'id al-Balkhi. I mentioned that he's one of the top narrators of the hadith, in the hadith. Like 100,000 hadiths he had narrated, no single mistake. He's one of the most reliable people in Islam. People like Ahmad Hanbal, then Bukhari, then Nasai, Tirmidhi, everybody narrates from him. The only thing is, in the hadith of Malik, he is not so strong. Because when he came to Malik, he was very young. And this last, that's why people don't prefer his hadith from Malik. Tirmidhi has got Muwatta from him. So whenever he narrates hadith from Qutayba, he will also get support from someone other than Qutayba. But Qutayba is not so strong in the hadith of Malik. But now Bukhari is narrating hadith of Malik from Qutayba. So what is happening? The same thing. Bukhari's way is, in hadith of Malik, he relies on two people. They are, one of them is Abdullah ibn Yusuf at-Tinnisi. Abdullah ibn Yusuf at-Tinnisi, the top man in narrating hadith of Malik. Bukhari relies on him. Second person is Abdullah ibn Maslama al-Qa'nabi. These two people are the top people narrating hadith of Malik. Abu Dawud got all of Muwatta from Qa'nabi. Muslim got only part of Muwatta from Qa'nabi, but when he narrates from Qa'nabi, he makes him the first person because he's Qa'nabi is so respected. Now Bukhari's way is because he used the same hadith 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So he does not want to repeat the same name. So once he will bring the hadith from Abdullah ibn Yusuf from Malik. Second time Qa'nabi from Malik, same hadith. Then third time he'll bring from Ismail. Fourth time from Qutayba. So he does not rely on these people. They're not. His reliance on the other isnad. They are coming to support. The same hadith, same Muwatta, but it's same. Just another version. though hadith not repeated, and you can get a new isnad. Is it clear to everybody? So when you see Qutayba from Malik and Sahih Bukhari, never think that Bukhari relies on the hadith in hadith of Malik and Qutayba. No, Qutayba is just support. When you see in Bukhari hadith of Ismail ibn Abi Uwais from Malik, it's not that he relies on him. He knows that he's not so strong. He take hadith from other people, then he wants a new version. Then he comes to people like Ismail, people like Qutayba, but they are not the one on whom Bukhari relies. Is it clear to everybody? So hadith of Tanajush in Bukhari many times, not only once, so many times. This is one of the version. Is it clear? You have question? No, it's not mutaba. Qutayba is still a reliable person. It's not mutaba. Meaning basically is that if Bukhari does not have other people, so it looks very bad for Bukhari's book that you come to the secondary narrator in Hadith of Malik. So it wants to make clear he has got hadith already from so many people. And also Malik's hadith is a well-written document. When something well-written, circulated properly, known to everybody, then it doesn't matter who narrates because it is muwatta. Like you have Yahya Laythi, he's not in any book, but his muwatta is still fine because it is book. Actually, more than that, now most of the Muslim world, the qiraat that you read is what? Asim's qiraat. Who's narrator? Hafs. Look Hafs' biography in the book of Rijal. Nobody likes him. They say he's weak, somebody even say liar, somebody say munkar, all this problem. You rely for the Quran on a man who is never accepted for any hadith. Bukhari is the one who is most critic of Hafs than anybody else. More. Though Bukhari is a very moderate person. And why we accept Hafs in the Qiraat? Because Quran is a well-known book. Everybody knows. Whether Hafs, whether somebody else, it doesn't matter really. Hafs cannot do anything. But same Hafs, if he narrates hadith, nobody accepts. But now somehow, in the whole Muslim world, Hafs and Asim became so famous that some people think that what real Quran is. That's not really. Truth of the matter is, Muslim world did not have Hafs and Asim. The qiraat which were popular in Muslim world were other qiraat. This qiraat only came to become famous in the last 200 years. Somebody came from Turkey and he had Hafs and Asim. He taught in Haram, Makkah, Indian people come, these people come, they learned. That how it started spreading. In Syria, Hafs and Asim only became famous last 100 years. Same Yemen. This is a very recent qiraat. Qiraat before that were other qiraat. If you look in book of tafsir, you don't find Hafs and Asim. But somehow it became famous. Because Hafs himself is actually even Asim. There no hadith of Asim Sahih Bukhari. Muslim only gets Asim in the mutaba'at. So these people are not such. While other qiraat, people like Amash. Now this Amash is one of the Ashara. Amash is the Imam. If you come to Kufa to study, the first person people ask, refer, go to Amash. And Amash became one of the Ashara, one of the Shad Qirat. And people like Asim, they became the top. This is how we have made our categories. If you look properly, in front of Amash, Asim is nothing. Amash is the Imam in everything. Amash, people used to say Amash memory is the same as the Musahaf, like Quran. He's so strong in everything. So, but because Quran, nobody can change it, so people even take from the weak people. So when it comes to Muwatta is a well-written document. So if there is a weak narrator, it could be accepted as long as we know this hadith from Muwatta anyway. There's so many. That's why Bukhari sometimes comes down to the people like Qutayba, Qutayba is the Imam, but in Hadith of Malik not so strong, to people like Ismail ibn Abi Uwais. This is the reason. Is it clear to everybody? Otherwise, generally, Bukhari does not narrate Hadith of Malik from Qutayba. Qutayba is good in Bukhari from in Hadith of Layth ibn Sa'ad or other Hadith, but not Malik. Qutayba narrates from Malik ibn Anas radhiallahu anhu, and Malik narrates from Nafi'. We have discussed, and Nafi' narrates from Abdullah ibn Umar radhiallahu anhuma that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade from Najish. To some Hadith Tanash, meaning is that somebody comes and does not want to buy, but he raises the price in order to deceive the other people. So the Prophet forbade that. The Bukhari want to say that, you see, that cheating, deceiving, and hila is not allowed. It's all hila. not allowed. So this is very clear. It is not rejection about anybody. It is basically for it comes for everybody, or anybody who deceives and cheats, it will not be allowed. Is it clear to everybody? Then the next one is باب ما ينهى من الخداع في البيوع وقال أيوب يخادعون الله كما يخادعون آدميا لو أتوا الأمر عيانا كان أهون علي. به قال حدثنا إسماعيل قال حدثنا مالك عن عبد الله بن دينار عن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنهما أن رجلا ذكر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه يخدع في البيوع فقال إذا بايعت فقل لا خلابة. So now more general hadith that the deceiving in the buying and selling is forbidden. Don't deceive. Be very clear. Be honest. When you sell something, sell and say the truth. Don't hide anything about your items. About the goods that you're selling, don't describe them differently. And the problem really is all the buyers, all the sellers, they keep exaggerating. They keep making their goods to look much better than it is. Like, the story is that, you have in Arabic language, Juha. Have you heard the name Juha? Khoja Rasuddin, all funny story. In India, we have got Sheikh Chilli. So Sheikh Chilli is same like Juha. So Sheikh Chilli had a horse, which he did not like. Very bad horse. He wanted to sell it and get rid of it. He got to the market where the people used to sell the horses. He gave to this agent, sell my horse, I'll pay you some money. Because the agents, they sell. And now the agent is making very loud announcement. This horse is the horse which can defeat the air and so fast and, so many qualities of the hair. Then Sheikh Chilli comes to me and said to him, if my horse is so good, then why am I selling? Give me back. This is my horse. So see, he became impressed by what he said. He doesn't realize he's just cheating. He's just making up. He said, my horse is so good, I should not sell it. Give me back. That most people do. They just make up stories. They can say anything. Don't trust what people say. You have to really be very good. People sell the property, maybe in Islamabad, Karachi, and it belongs to someone else. You buy, and then the person runs away, and you're in trouble because somebody else will say, no, it is my property, not yours. Look a book of, if you have read book, Maqamat Hariri, Maqamat Badi'u Zaman Hamadani. So these are books, very nice really, but that will tell you how cheating used to be happening in the Arab world so early, in Baghdad, everywhere. So one of the person, he comes with someone in the market where people sell slaves. It's called Suqun Nakhasin. Nakhasin is the shops market where people sell slave. So this person will come, this is a slave, so eloquent and this thing. And the slave also will recite poetry, so you become impressed, all those things. Then somebody will say, what is the price? And you say, 1,000 dinar, 2,000, the huge price. He pays you, and then you take money and go. This person takes the horse, okay. Says, take the slave, come with me. He says, what are you talking about? He says, I bought you. He said, but I'm a free person. I'm not a slave. And then he proves, all the document, go to the Qadi, and now the person who sold him, he has run away. So these cheating, the people sell a free person as a slave. They get the money and then they run away, and now the buyer is in trouble. Cheating is such a trick, really. It existed all the time. They never trust in anybody. You have to be very, very clever in the matter, in the business. You have to find friends and supporters who can help you. وقال أيوب. Ayub is a nice man, really. Ayub is one of the top men of Basra. Really, when you read his biography, you love him. He's such a nice person. All his students, they love this. Ibn Uyayna used to say, I have studied with more than 30 tabi'een. I never have seen anybody like Ayub. Hamad bin Zayd accompanied Ayub 20 years. I never have seen anybody like that. Even Malik, who does not like Iraqi people, he loved Ayub. Ayub is amazing person. Hamad bin Zayd said, whenever I used to walk with Ayub in the street of Basra, he's from Basra, Ayub always will love to go through the streets where nobody knows Ayub. Why? Because Ayub did not like when he goes, people say, Hada Ayub, this Ayub. He wants to be obscure, nobody knows him. This is how pure and clean he is. An amazing person, really. So he said, Ayub said, they deceive Allah as they deceive a human being. If they have done something clearly kufr, it would have been easier for me. But you cheat Allah as you cheat human being. But he knows everything. Human being does not, you cheat me, so I don't know. You can sell to me your car, which is not good, because I don't know. But Allah knows. So Ayub said, if people showed what they hide to Allah, I don't have a problem. Fine, you are kafir. Make your kufr very clear. But you hide kufr to Allah, who knows everything. He said, I cannot imagine that. I cannot see how nice Ayub is. That if they deceive Allah, they deceive in a human being. If they have done think clearly, it would have been much easier for me. See, he said easier means he feels so burden on this nifaq, this hypocrisy. So hadith is from Ismail ibn Abi Uwais. Again, I said hadith of Malik. And Malik narrates from his master Abdullah ibn Dinar. Abdullah ibn Dinar died in the year 127. So, in Islam, one of the great things is, though people criticize that Islam still has slavery, but if you look in the history really, how the people used to treat their slaves. All learned people that see, most of them coming from slave family. They got the knowledge, they became the leaders. Abdullah ibn Dinar is slave, but he became Imam of Medina. Everybody is coming to learning from Abdullah ibn Dinar. Nafi Mawla ibn Umar is slave, and he becomes Imam of Medina. Ata ibn Abi Rabah, he was a slave. I know from Abasha. People say he was a black son of a black person, defect in the body, hands are paralyzed. Every defect you can see and find Ata ibn Abi Rabah. Ata had no house. He used to sleep in the house of Allah in Makkah, even did not have house. When Abu Hanifa comes and learns from Ata, people ask Abu Hanifa, you have learned from people of Kufa, from people of Basra, from the family of the Prophet, from Medina, from everybody. Tell me who is your best teacher. Abu Hanifa said, in my life, I never have seen anybody better than Ata ibn Abi Rabah. Just think. That's how Islam is. Though same Abu Hanifa, he knows Muhammad al-Baqir from the family of the Prophet. He met Zuhri. He met his own teacher, Hamad ibn Sulaiman. He learned from hundreds of the people. Such a learned person. Among all his teachers, he said, I never met anybody better than Ata ibn Abi Rabah. When Umayyad Caliph, Hisham bin Abdul Malik, he comes to Makkah, and people criticize Umayyad, they are very Arab and they don't like non-Arabs. Hisham comes to Makkah, he makes his court, he sits on a throne and people around him. And then he called Ata ibn Abi Rabah. Ata comes, Hisham makes him to sit next to him. Ata sits next to Hisham on the throne. And then Hisham asked him, tell me what happened. Ata said to him that, I'm warning you against everything. You must take care of the believers, family of the Prophet, family of the companions, this thing, that thing, all the thing. He reminds him. Then Ata leaves. Hisham said to Ata, you ask me everything for other people, but you didn't ask anything for yourself. Tell me what I can do for you. Ata said, I never put my need to any human being. I don't do this. Then Hisham said, if anybody wants to see a leader, look at this person. See how Islam raised. Somebody who's slave, son of a slave, he's become such a position, then even the Amir al-Mu'minin, Hisham's rule was from India to Spain. Such a big ruler, he respect Ata. And then he announced that nobody is allowed to give fatwa in Makkah except Ata. If Ata is there, nobody can give fatwa. That's how people got this respect. The same thing, this Abdullah ibn Dinar, he's slave, but he becomes Imam because the knowledge gives you authority, party. And many of slaves, they become master rulers in India. If there is an Indian dynasty, slaves, they rule India for a while. And since the Mamalik also rule Egypt. So these people got the state. So this, this really, it doesn't mean really, there are not people who did not have bad behavior. But I'm saying is, Islamic law respects people as human beings. Even if the slaves, dignity is there. So Abdullah Dinar narrates from his master, Abdullah Umar anhuma, that somebody came to the Prophet and said that I am a very simple person. Whenever I buy something, I'm cheated. People deceive me. And then I cannot do anything because the contract is done. So the Prophet said, the way is, إِذَا بَايَعْتَ, when you engage into any buying and selling, tell the person, لَا خِلَابَةَ, no deceiving. Now, if he deceives, you can return the goods, you can cancel the contract. See, so Bukhari's argument basically is, you can see the Prophet makes very clear that cheating, hila, tricks, they are not allowed in any business, nowhere. So how can you make tricks? How can you make this thing that, something, you play trick, haram becomes halal? How can be allowed? The Prophet never allowed. He never accept something like that. باب ما ينهى من الاحتيال الولي في اليتيمة المرغوبة وألا يكمل صداقها. So Bukhari comes again to the Mary, because the way he has put order, the bab is it more about the condition about cheating. So he comes in the order. So this another cheating that people used to do. That sometimes what happens is, a girl, her father had died, and you raise the girl in your house, educate her. Now you become interested and you like her, and you say she is under me anyway, so I can do whatever I like, and then you marry her with very little mahr. So the Prophet did not like, because the women should have full freedom to, and their mahr should be a kind to their status. Whatever in that age, that state they deserve, that should be done. So mahr is also minimum, some minimum mahr, and maximum there nothing. But generally, mahr basically means mahru nisaiha. A girl, if you marry a girl, you have to see the girls in the same family, what is their mahr if they have the same education. For example, a girl is doctor, medical doctor. She studied in one of the best university, and she is a 20, 25-year old. So before you marry her, find out a girl in that age with that educational background, what is the mahr her generally. So then you have to pay that mahr. Don't make less than that, because that will basically cheating, forcing. So and women should insist on that, because that is their right. So like for example, in Oxford, for a long time, generally when I conduct a marriage and the people ask me what will be mahr, so generally those women who are some learned, some study, good background, so I make mahr something between 5,000 to 10,000 pounds, and people accept it, because this is what normal mahr will be for people like that. So don't go, if you love someone, so why can't you sacrifice something? That is sign really you are serious. You want to pay something. I remember once I went to conduct a marriage. It was for an Arab family. They asked me. So when I went so I asked them what a mahr. They even did not know what a mahr means, though they are Arabs. So I explained that. So they said, okay, £1. So I was really surprised. It was father of the daughter. I said, why you say like that? He said, yeah, fine, we can make. And everybody was happy there. So I said, why I should have problem if everybody happy there? Just £1 was the mahr. In our tradition, Indian people, they will never accept in dowry for just £1. But they said only £1. Though in Hanafi madhab, it is not, minimum is something else. But he said £1. I said, okay, that's what you're happy. So people should make some dignified amount. That is very helpful, really. So at least women get something secured. So if a divorce happens, something happen, at least she has got something. She will get more thing anyway. But this is one thing from very beginning. It should happen. If people cheat around that, the Prophet did not like. You see how Islam is. Allah does not right. Allah, the way is always defending the weaker people of the society. Since women have been exploited, Islamic law always in the favor of the women. Now people don't want to even understand this. Imagine that. It all the time in the favor. So this is one of the. So باب ما ينهى من الاحتيال للولي في اليتيمة المرغوبة. It is forbidden that the wali, he should not protect his wali, his guardian. He should be much better than other people to be nice. But he's the one who playing trick. He wants to get married with her. اليتيمة المرغوبة, the orphan girl who is interested to marry. وَأَلَّا يُكَمِّلَ صَدَاقًا, and that he does not want to give full mahr. He wants to cheat. Then, Quran said, don't marry. Find someone else. Marry her to someone else who can give the full mahr. Hadith is from Abul Yaman. Abul Yaman's name is al-Hakam ibn Nafi'. That's the name, al-Hakam ibn Nafi'. He is famous with both kunya and name. Sometime Bukhari will come his name Haddathana al-Hakam ibn Nafi', and sometime will come Abul Yaman. He died in there 222. The problem with Abul Yaman is, he went to study with Shu'aib ibn Abi Hamza in Syria, in Hims. People say when he came to Hims, Shu'aib was dying. He was in last days, maybe he was still ill, something like that. Shu'aib did not have a class at the moment. What Abu Yaman did, he got the book of Shu'aib, very nice handwriting, copied from that, and then he came to Shu'aib and asked him if he can allow him to narrate all these hadiths. And he allowed him. Sometimes Abu Yaman actually had one narration, he said, no, I read all the book to him. So Abu Yaman, how he got hadith of Shu'aib, it is something disputed in the field of the hadith. So basically, if you look in all the Isnad of Sahih Bukhari, the one is which is most disputed is hadith of Abu Yaman from Shu'aib. And with this Isnad, Bukhari has got not one hadith, many hadith. And people don't know really how Abu Yaman got the hadith. It is not very clear. People have so much criticism against Abu Yaman. But I mentioned Bukhari's way different. Bukhari's way is academic accuracy. He said, book of Shu'aib is known in the world. Hanbal goes and he copies and he praises so much. He did not meet Shu'aib, but he got the book from the sons of Shu'aib. Well known. Tell me where Abu Yaman has done mistake. If he did mistake, then I will not include. People did not find in the hadith of Abu Yaman from Shu'aib any single mistake. Mistake happened in his hadith from someone else. And by chance, really. He turned the page mistakenly and he did one mistake. That hadith is not in Sahih Bukhari. But Abu Yaman has no single mistake when he narrates from Shu'aib or from anybody. So Bukhari said the knowledge accuracy. He got the book. He narrates from the book. Whatever he tells, everybody else narrates. The book is there. Everybody has seen. I have seen. Bukhari also went to him and he said, when I enter into city of Shu'aib, I saw Ahmad Hanbal coming from there. So he knows the original note. He got it. So when Abu Yaman narrates, he can check really. It is hadith in there. And everybody else has got. So these are the excuse of Bukhari reasoning why he relies on the hadith of Abu Yaman. Though technically, Muhaddithin don't like this thing because they basically want hadith to be read to the master properly. Just ijaza in those days was not enough. Muslim has got hadith of Abu Yaman, but very rarely and just for support. Reason is Muslim never met Abu Yaman. So Abu Yaman's hadith in Sahih Muslim is nazil. Yani between a Muslim and between Abu Yaman, somebody is there. Darmi or Abdul, somebody is there. Bukhari's hadith for Abu Yaman is very high. So how can Bukhari leave him? So be aware of the problem. The problem is hadith of Abu Yaman in Sahih Bukhari. One of the criticism. And Bukhari's argument is that Abu Yaman's hadith are accurate, they are sound, there is no single mistake in the hadith of Abu Yaman. And that's what knowledge means, that you transmit something with a full accuracy. If you find any mistake in my narration, then tell me. There's no mistake. So technically, could have some criticism, but in reality, there's nothing wrong with what Bukhari has done. So he got the hadith from Abu Yaman, and Abu Yaman has got from Shu'aib. Shu'aib died in the year 162. Shu'aib is from Syria. Shu'aib's handwriting is very good. So basically, the book that Shu'aib produced of all the hadith of all the teachers, everybody liked it. Many people, when they write, they do mistakes. You can't read what they write. But Shu'aib, when he wrote his hadith, very clear writing. Shu'aib's son said, when Ahmad Hanbal came to my house and my father had died, so Ahmad Hanbal said to me, show me the book of your father. When I got the book, Ahmad Hanbal was impressed. He said, I never have seen such a writing, such a good handwriting. So Shu'aib's handwriting is very good. He wrote all the hadith properly. But the problem is Shu'aib is from Syria. He accompanied people of Syria a lot, like Zuhri. So people like Bukhari, Muslim, they love hadith of Shu'aib from Zuhri, because that's where he got properly. When he came to Medina and other places, he did not spend time there. So especially Muslim does not accept any hadith of Shu'aib from people of Medina. Bukhari takes some hadith of Shu'aib from Muhammad ibn Qadir and from Abu Zinad, but selected. Muslim does not take any hadith of Shu'aib from all these people, because Muslims think he did not stay in Medina properly, and he just bought a book from shops and went to these ulama and just got a jada. We don't know how he got really. I don't trust in that. Not only Muslim, Abu Zura, Radi, everybody, except Bukhari. Bukhari said, no, we have to compare. Bukhari selects. Is it correct, everybody? So Bukhari narrates hadith show from other people as well. Muslim narrates hadith show from Zohri and from Ibn Abi Hussein al-Makki. Two people only, I think. So it is from Zuhri. Zuhri is Imam Muhammad ibn Muslim ibn Shihab al-Zuhri. He said, Urwa used to narrate. Urwa is Urwa ibn Zubair, son of Zubair ibn Awam, one of Asha Washara, and his mother is Asma bint Abi Bakr. And Asma is sister of Aisha. So basically, Urwa is the nephew of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. In hadith of Aisha, there are four people, the best people. One of them is Urwa. And another person, Qasim. Qasim also son of Aisha's brother, Muhammad. So two people from the family. Third person, who's the best person narrating hadith of Aisha, is Aswad from Kufa. Aisha used to like him and he used to bring all the family. He's one of the most reliable people in the hadith of Aisha. And the fourth one is a lady, Amara bint Abdul Rahman, because she was raised in the house of Aisha. So she's one of the top narrator for the hadith of Aisha. So these are the four people, and their hadith generally supports each other. The same hadith they keep supporting. Urwa used to narrate that he asked Aisha about this verse of the Quran. When khiftum Allah tuqsitu fil yatama, if you fear that you will not do justice about the orphans, yatama, yani orphan girls. So you raise them in your house, these girls, and now you think that if you marry them, you are not going to pay their full mahr. So then Quran says, فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُمْ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ. Then don't marry her. Marry other women who were good for you, halal, pure, paying proper mahr, you marry, but don't. قالت هي اليتيمة في حجر وليها. This yatama means those women who are orphan girls in the arm of their guardian. They raise them, and now this man who is interested, if he marries her, he'll get all her property because her father died. He left property. She becomes my wife. I get all her property, and she's so beautiful. I got her beauty. So sometimes people think like that. He did a good job. He raised her. Then should you stop there? Now you raised her. Now you become interested in her beauty, and also become interested in her wealth. That she's so rich. Her father left so much property. I marry. I get all that. So he wants to marry her. بِأَدْنَى مِنْ سُنَّةِ نِسَائِهَا. He wants to marry her, but giving her less than what the women of that age will get. He wants to pay mahr less because in her guardianship anyway, he can do whatever like. فَنُحُوا أَنْ نِكَاحِهِنَّ. Allah said, don't marry them. You see how Allah is just, how fair. This orphan, nobody can defend her, but Allah is defending her. Don't marry her because you want to cheat her, you want to harm her. Don't marry her, except if you do justice for them, fi kamal sadaq, to give the full mahr. Then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ثم استفتى الناس رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بعده, they ask, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, أنزل الله يستفتونك في النساء. So the has come that what you can marry, 1, 2, 3, whatever you can marry, but with fairness and justice, meaning a proper mahr. Don't exploit the condition of a woman because you think really this woman has been under your protection, so she will feel your favor, and whatever you give, she will accept because she's under your favor. Don't do this. Make a favor for the sake of Allah. Don't make your favor as a means of exploitation of any woman. Don't do this thing. You see how this religion is really. It makes everybody so noble, so kind. But in reality, we Muslims are not noble. That's why nobody likes Islam, because people see really how much we cheat. If we follow this religion properly, I said sometimes when I teach in England, I say if Muslims follow all these rules about the women carefully and properly, all the non-Muslim women will become Muslim. They'll say it is such a nice religion, so much respect for the women, so much dignity for the women, they will love it. I remember when I came to Oxford, in the beginning I used to read a lot writings of Orientalist and Christian priest about Islam. Just I want to see how they look at Islam. I forgot the name. Somebody I was reading, he was a priest. He said, when I read Surah An-Nisa, if I had not known really that this book is the book of Muhammad, I would have said the whole surah is written by women because it's so much different for the women. In that period, nobody defends women. This surah is so clearly defending the women. If I did not know that, I would have said that a woman wrote the whole surah to defend the women's right. It's really amazing. Only Allah can do. Nobody else can do. Because nobody even knows really. Even the prophets and messengers cannot do. It only Allah does. The people have to understand. When Allah does something, we must respect it. You cannot cheat Allah. If Allah said, don't do this, then don't do this. You cannot make anything good going around that. So this is one of those hadiths I think at least I should do, because I promised yesterday I must do. And this is 6,965. I want to do 70 because then 10 hadiths will be left, inshallah. So this one, next hadith is به قال حدثنا أبو نعيم قال حدثنا سفيان عن عبد الله بن دينار عن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنهما عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لكل غادر لواء يوم القيامة يعرف به. Abu Nu'aym is one of the top teacher of Bukhari, very, very top. Among those people who made hadith for Bukhari very, very high. In many hadith, when Bukhari narrates from Abu Nu'aym, between him and the Prophet become only 3 people. Abu Nu'aym narrates hadith from Tabi'een. So he's one of the top narrator for Bukhari. Muslim, Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, Nasai ibn Majah, everybody narrates from someone from Abu Nu'aym. Bukhari, the only person among 6 people who narrates from Abu Nu'aym directly. Died in 288. He narrates from Sufyan. Sufyan, it could be Ibn Uyayna, could be Thawri. But basically, in hadith, Abu Nu'aym is very senior. The Abu Nu'aym is very close to Sufyan al-Thawri. So when there is no indication, other indication, Sufyan always will be Sufyan al-Thawri. So this is Sufyan al-Thawri. Abu Nu'aym learned from who? From Sufyan al-Thawri. And Sufyan al-Thawri is also a student of Abdullah ibn Dinar. So Sufyan died in the year 161. And Abdullah ibn Dinar, I mentioned before, and he narrated from Abdullah ibn Umar anhuma, from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, لِكُلِّ غَادِرٍ لِوَاءٌ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Every ghadir, ghadara yaghdiru means somebody who cheat and deceive, somebody who breaks the covenant, breaks the promise. You make a promise and you break it. All these people in the day of judgment, they will have a flag, something, a leva carrying, which will tell very clearly this person a ghadir, cheater, deceiver. Just think such big humiliation. When we cheat in this world, nobody can see it. So we are noble people. Everybody thinks I'm so sharif, so noble. But if you think really, if I cheat and then Allah makes a tail in my body, which makes very clear this person cheater, can I live? I'll be so shameful. In the day of judgment, all these cheaters will get a flag, very high. It will be behind them stuck. They can't get rid of. Everybody can see from everywhere this person was a ghadir. The Bukhari, the warning is just be careful. The Bukhari thinks that don't take Islam as religion for the worldly matters. It is religion for the hereafter. That's what deen means. So don't cheat. Don't make all these tricks. These tricks only can benefit you in this world. They can't benefit you in the hereafter. So people must be as careful as possible. So this hadith of Abu Nu'aym. Then the Bab. Babun only. So in Sahih Bukhari, Bukhari generally brings Bab to mean say it in new chapter, and then he brings a title. Bab of this Babun Nikah, something like that. But there are certain places where Bukhari does not have chapter heading. He has Bab, but no chapter heading. So people have a problem. What does it mean really? So one answer to that is that Bukhari wrote his book and kept revising. So sometimes he's not very careful really. He's not clear what should be the chapter heading for this hadith. So every time he taught, he kept adding until he died. When he died, then his students, they kept the book as it is, because no heading there. So Bab could be Bukhari wanted to make heading, but he could not make his mind and left the book without putting the heading. Sometimes it is also clear from Bukhari that Bukhari actually did not want to have heading, because this hadith is connected to the previous chapter. The only reason he puts a Bab to also make clear that this also is semi-independent. So in one way, it is connected to the previous chapter, and one way it is independent. So he wants to teach you that. So both things are in Sahih Bukhari. So that's why it here the Bab, no chapter heading. به قال حدثنا محمد بن كثير عن سفيان عن هشام عن عروة عن زينب بنت أم سلمة عن أم سلمة رضي الله عنها عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إنما أنا بشر وإنكم تختصمون ولعل بعدكم أن يكون ألحن بحجته من بعد وأقضي له على نحو ما أسمعه فمن قضيت له من حق أخيه شيئا فلا يأخذ فإنما أقطع له قطعة من النار. This hadith is very famous in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim everywhere. Hadith is from Muhammad ibn Kathir al-Abadi. He has been criticized a little bit, but most people think, he's fine, and the people who criticize, they are not right. So, is Muhammad ibn Kathir al-Abdi died in the year 223. He is also one of the top teacher for Bukhari. He narrated from Sufyan. Sufyan is, again, Sufyan al-Thawri, died in the year 161. Sufyan narrates from Hisham ibn Urwa ibn Zubair, one of the Tabi. Hisham is teacher of Malik, Abu Hanifa, Sufyan Thawri, Ibn Uyayna, everybody, the great man. Hisham narrates from his father Urwa. Urwa narrates from this lady, Zainab bint Salama. Zainab is Rabiba of the Prophet Sallallahu. Rabiba means if you marry a woman and that woman has got children from previous husband and those children are raised in your house, they are your Rabaib. It means you raise them. So if they are lady, girl, they will call Rabiba. So people are not allowed to marry their Rabaib. وَرَبَائِبُكُمُ اللَّاتِي فِي حُجُورِكُم مِّن نِسَائِكُمُ اللَّاتِي دَخَلْتُم بِهِنَّ. So Zainab was raised. Yeah, so they are better. So they are raised in your house basically. So Rabaib, you can't marry them. If you have a relation with your wife, now you cannot marry her daughter. So Zainab has been raised in the house of the Prophet ﷺ, and Zainab is one of the most learned lady in her time. Many hadith and her fiqh and fatwa to see that good, faqihah. She died in the year 73 of Hijrah. Sorry, tabi'iyya. She is Zainab actually Sahabiya, because Zainab was young when she came to the house. So she's Sahabi. Technically, she's very small. She's Sahabiya. She narrates from Salama, her mother, because Salama had no children from the Prophet. All children are from the previous husband, and all the children came to the house of the Prophet. So they are Sahabi because they have seen from the Prophet. She did not get any child, so nothing there. So children are Sahabi. Salama's name is sorry.
What is the reason behind not being able to marry the child in the house
Yeah, the Quran said the house, by intention really the meaning, because just Quran wants to make it look that it's like your daughter. So otherwise the meaning basically is people are not allowed to marry daughter of their wife from any husband. So she like daughter of your own wife, don't marry. So Zainab is daughter of Prophet's wife, Salama, so the Prophet cannot marry her. So anybody like that. So, but Quran said that, those girls which are raised in your family, meaning it like your daughter. So don't marry them. But even if she's not raised there, still you cannot marry. People cannot marry the daughter of their own wives. They can't marry. So she narrates Salama. Salama's name is Hind bint Abi Umayyah, and she died in there 62. So among the wives, all the wives of the Prophet, they are learned, and the Quran has commanded the وَذْكُرْنَ مَا يُتْلَى فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ. All the wives of the Prophet have been commanded to learn the Quran, learn the Sunnah, because they are going to be teachers. But not necessarily everybody has same mind, same cleverness. So among the wives of the Prophet, two are the best faqihah, most learned women. One is Aisha, and second one is Salama. So she's one of the most learned lady, and Salama is from one of the best family of Quraysh. So Quraysh have three leading families: Banu Hashim, the family of the Prophet; Banu Umayyah, the family of Abu Sufyan; Banu Makhzum, the family of Abu Jahl, or family of Khalid Walid. She is from Banu Makhzum, Salama. So she is from one of the leading family of Quraysh. She narrates from the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet said, Innama ana basharun. I am just a human being. Meaning, I don't know anything. I'm not like Allah. I don't know unseen. I only know what people say. I don't get any knowledge. and you come to me in dispute. I don't know who's right, who's wrong. When I judge on the basis of the argument. That's all. Some of you can be tricky, could be more eloquent. You come and put your case, present your case so nicely. I become impressed and I judge for you. Just because I judge, it does not mean you get it becomes something lawful to you. Haram will not become halal because I judge. If it is not your property, just because I judge, it is not yours. You have to be careful. So that is very important to understand. Just because the judge makes a ruling, it does not make haram as halal. So sometimes people can convince a judge. Sometimes they can hire a good lawyer who can make their case so nice, and judge does not know. He is impressed and he judge. Though the other person who could not make his case, he is the one who's right. So people also the prophets have said, "You come for a dispute to me, and some of you are more eloquent in the argument than other, and then I judge for this eloquent person according to what here. So if I judge for you something from the right of your brother, then what he should not take, because I am giving you a piece of hellfire. The hellfire is not actually your right. Just because I give, it does not make for you lawful. So see, even if the prophet make a judgment, it's still haram cannot become halal. So people have to just your argument, your speeches don't change reality. That I've been saying since very beginning in this class that people's words don't change reality. Reality will remain reality. If something haram, it will remain haram, even if you make all the arguments in favor of you. Your arguments don't change nature of haram. Then other hadith in the nikah, and they're all of them very similar. So I'll read them. Babun fi nikah. به قال حدثنا مسلم إبراهيم قال حدثنا هشام قال حدثنا يحيى بن أبي كثير عن أبي سلامة عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال لا تنكح البكر حتى تستأذن ولا الثيب حتى تستأمر. فقيل يا رسول الله كيف إذنها؟ قال إذا سكتت. وقال بعض الناس لم تستأذن البكر ولم تزوج فاحتال رجل فأقام الشاهد زور أنه تزوجها برضاها فأثبت القاضي نكاحها والزوج يعلم أن الشهادة باطلة فلا بأس أن يطأها وهو تزويج صحيح. This is a problem really. Problem. Sorry? No, this is Bukhari said. So Bukhari is making a criticism against somebody. So okay, let me read the hadith and I'll say what Bukhari is criticizing about nikah. Hadith is from Muslim ibn Ibrahim al-Farahidi. Died in the year 222 Hijrah. He is one of the top teacher of Bukhari. Muslim did not have any hadith from him. But Abu Dawud got. He is the highest teacher for Abu Dawud for his age, 202. Muslim Ibrahim has got also one virtue. He narrates from 70 women of Basra. So there are some people who have so many female teachers. Muslim Ibrahim is one of those people who have got 70 female teachers from the city of Basra alone. He narrates from Hisham. This Hisham is Hisham ibn Abi Abdullah ad-Dastawai from Basra. Died in the year 154. It's not the all Basra. Muslim Ibrahim is from Basra. Hisham teacher is from Basra. Yahya ibn Abi Kathir from Basra. So the Basran people. Hisham died in the year 154. Hisham narrates from Yahya ibn Abi Kathir, who died in the year 132. And Yahya ibn Abi Kathir, I mentioned that he's one of the 6 people who are the pillars of the hadith from Basra. And he is especially most important person narrating the hadith of Abu Salama ibn Abdul Rahman from Medina. And this is one of those hadiths. He narrates from Abu Salama, who died in the year 94, and Abu Salama narrates from the Prophet Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, La tunkahul bikro hatta tusta'adana. A virgin girl will not be married until she has been consulted. You take permission. Just because she is virgin, she's shy, you have no right to marry her without her consent. Her consent must be taken. Wala thayyibu, and similarly, a woman who is a widow cannot be married unless she is consulted properly. It must be done properly. Faqil ya Rasulullah, in those days, in the women, especially virgin, will feel shyness if you say to her, do you want to get married? Are you accepting her? She will not like to say. So the people ask, how will she say? How will she express her consent? So the Prophet said, Ida sakatat. If she's quiet, it means she's happy. If she does not like it, she will say something. So if she does not say something, it means she's happy. It was in that time. In our time, she must say, because if she does not say, that means something wrong. Must be. I remember I had a friend from Morocco, and he's a clever person. From Morocco is very, yeah. So the story is, and he accompanied me. Actually I wrote my travelogue for Hajj, so I mentioned him. He's also good person in many ways, but also clever person. So he used to do Hajj every year. So what he did in the Hajj, he will go to Arafat. When he comes to Mena, then he will go all his, stones to someone, that you stone on my behalf, I'm going to Morocco. So he never stayed in the Mena. Only he will do Arafah, and then he leave, give to someone else. He narrated to me the story. He said, I went to India. When I came to Banaras, Varanasi, I did not know where to go because it was night, and there was a Hindu, from a good family. He was in the train. So I said to him, I don't know where to go. He said, don't worry, come to my house. And my daughter is getting married, so you can attend the marriage, and then you go where you like. So I said, okay, I love, see how Indian marriage is. So I attend the marriage, and when the bride is, taken to the house of the husband, crying and weeping and this and that, I was shocked really. Why is it like that? In Morocco, all the girls jump when they're married. So why Indian girls, they cry? So I was really shocked when he said that in Morocco, all the girls jump, because in our custom, it never happened. They don't jump. They really cry and weep. So, cultures are so different. I was shocked really. Why she's crying? In my culture, all the women, they jump. They're so happy to get married. And here she's crying. So the Prophet's talking about his time. وَقَالَ بَعْضُ. Now see what happens. So some people, what they do, now it's coming to criticizing Hanafi opinion. Now, because it's a legal system, that's how people do. Now Bukhari says, some people, what they say, if somebody could not take permission from a girl, he asked a virgin girl that he wants to marry. She said, no, I'm not happy to marry you. And she did not marry. What he did, he make a trick. He found two people who are liars. And he asked them, can you lie on my behalf in the court that I married this girl? He never married her. They say, okay, pay me some money. We witness for you. These two people, he hired them. They are liars. No marriage happened. They go to the court and they say, yeah, we know, we have witness. He married her. They make all lie. And judge actually does not know. Judge judges according to the witness. Two people say that we witnessed that he married this girl. And girl said, I did not marry, but with the two witnesses, marriage never happened. He knows, girl knows, even the witness knows. Judge does not know. Judge made, so okay, say, okay, if there are two witnesses, he said, وَالزَّوْجُ يَعْلَمُ. The husband knows أَنَّ الشَّهَادَةَ بَاطِلَةٌ. The witness is false. These jurists say, mostly Hanafi, that if the judge makes the marriage valid, then he can have relation with her, and this marriage is valid. Judge's judgment makes marriage valid. Bukhari's concern, tell me where you consent, where everything. The Prophet said she must be consulted. You make everything upside down. This is where Bukhari comes. Just think what happening. This girl does not want to get married, does not like him. This person with falsehood creates two witnesses, go to the court, and they witness that really I have seen him marrying her. And judge is convinced, and now because of this witness, she becomes wife and he becomes husband. He can have a relation. She cannot deny. Tell me, how can anybody accept this like that? So why Bukhari will not criticize something like that? So when a system accepts this, tell me what will happen. Then women's consent does not have any importance, because to buy two witnesses so easy that I say, marriage not two witnesses, marriage, declaration. It should be public. That Imam Malik said, marriage not two witnesses. It should be public. Everybody should know that you got married. You're not the two witnesses, because two witnesses do this thing. It is very easy to find two witnesses who lie for you. So you can imagine when it's happening 1200 years back, Bukhari's time, this is happening. Just imagine how people can become corrupt. They can corrupt the whole system because they know witness is important, and buying to witness is so easy. You pay money, you get witness, and they do witness, and because of this trick, she becomes your wife. So then why the Prophet said the girl should be consulted? What the purpose of consulting is? If you can make all these tricks, so what the matter of the permission? That's what Bukhari is not happy. Okay, next one. به قال حدثنا علي بن عبد الله قال حدثنا سفيان قال حدثنا يحيى بن سعيد القاسم أن امرأة من ولد جعفر تخوفت أن يزوجها وليها وهي كارهة فأرسلت إلى شيخين من الأنصار عبد الرحمن ومجمع ابن جارية قال فلا تخشين فإن خنساء بنت خدام أنكحها أبوها وهي كارهة فرد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ذلك قال سفيان وأما عبد الرحمن فسمعته يقول عن أبيه إن خنساء. Bukhari brings another hadith very clear. If women don't have consent, the marriage is invalid. If a woman does not accept it, then even if Qadi comes, the judge comes, marriage is invalid. He brings the hadith. Hadith from Ali ibn Abdullah ibn al-Madini, died in the year 234. He is one of the top teacher of Bukhari and expert of the ilal. He narrates from Sufyan. Sufyan is Sufyan Mu'ayna. Sufyan used to say that I learned from Ali more than he learned from me. That's how Ali Abdullah is. When Ali al-Madini came to Sufyan, Sufyan named him Hajjatul Wadi, the snake of the valley. A snake of valley is very poisonous. Meaning is Ali is so clever, so intelligent. No, he was very, very well known for this his cleverness. Sufyan narrates from Yahya ibn Sa'id al-Ansari, died in the year 144. Yahya narrates from Qasim ibn Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr, died in the year 106. He said, a woman from the family of Ja'far. Ja'far basically means Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, not Ja'far al-Sadiq. Ja'far al-Sadiq very late. He is later than Qasim. But somehow, some people who wrote commentary, they made Ja'far as Ja'far al-Sadiq. It doesn't fit there. Because Qasim died in 106 and Ja'far al-Sadiq died in 150. Ja'far was a young boy in that. How can his family anything? So Ja'far is who? Ja'far is a Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, brother of Ali. That's Ja'far. So if a woman from his family, she feared that her guardian will marry to someone she does not like. To see how women are independent those days. When she feared that her wife is going to marry her to someone she doesn't like, what she did? She sent a messenger to noble people from Ansar, Abdurrahman and Mujamma ibn Jariyah, and told them that my guardian wants to marry me to someone who I don't like, defend me, stand next to me. They said, don't worry. فَلَا تَخْشَى. So لَا تَيَخْشَيَنَّ is masculine and she's a woman. It should be فَلَا تَخْشَيِنَّ or something like that. The reason Muhaddisin say it is لَا تَخْشَيَنَّ because she sent a messenger. They're saying this to the messenger, don't fear, nothing will happen. Why? Because the Khansa bint Khidam, her father married her to someone and she did not like. And the Prophet ﷺ cancelled the marriage. So if your wali marries you to someone you don't like, your marriage is cancelled. You see, Bukhari said, Prophet said this, and you say with all these tricks, women get married. So this is how much the Prophet respects women's consent. Even if the father marries the woman to someone she does not like, the marriage will not be valid. Marriage will be rejected. به قال حدثنا أبو نعيم قال حدثنا شيبان عن يحيى عن أبي سلمة عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تنكح الأيم حتى تستأمر ولا تنكح البكر حتى تستأذن قالوا كيف إذنها قال أن تسكت وقال بعض الناس إن احتال إنسان بشاهد زور على تزويج امرأة ثيب بأمرها فأثبت القاضي نكاحها إياه والزوج يعلم أنه لم يتزوجها قط فإنه يسعه هذا النكاح ولا بأس بالمقام له معها. This is about ثيب. Same thing. So hadith from Abu Nu'aym, his name has come before. He narrates from somebody called Shayban al-Nahwi from Basra. Nahwi because he's from one of the tribe, that's Nahwa. He died in there 164. He has from same Yahya ibn Kathir who came before that. He narrates from Abu Salama ibn Abdul Rahman, who from Abu Huraira, famous hadith. The Allah's Messenger said, the widow, the one who is married already, she will not be married until she is consulted. And a virgin girl will not be married until she is asked permission. Meaning whether a woman is virgin or widow. In every case, the women must be consulted. Their permission must be taken. The people ask, how can we take permission from a bikr, from virgin? The Prophet said, if she becomes quiet, you mention to her and she is quiet, that's. Now he said, some people say, if somebody brings two liar witness and they go to the court and they say this person got this married with this widow, Thayyib. And the Qadi accept that, judge said, okay, he accept. and the husband knows that he never married her, and he knows all this lie, still he can stay with this woman and she will become his wife. Tell me how it happened. The Prophet said you can't marry without consulting, and now you have false witness and you produce it. So why Bukhari brings this again? Because that was about the virgin girl and this about the widow. Bukhari want to say in every case, same rule is there. If a woman is not consulted, you cannot marry her. And all these false witnesses don't make her your wife. Still you doing haram. If you force her, you're doing haram. به قال حدثنا أبو عاصم عن ابن جريج عن ابن أبي مليكة عن ذكوان عن عائشة رضي الله عنها قالت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم البكر تستأذن قلت إن البكر تستحيي قال إذنها صماتها وقال بعض الناس إن هوى رجل جارية يتيمة أو بكرا فأبت فاحتال فجاء بالشاهد زور على أنه تزوجها فأدركت فرضيت اليتيمة فقبل القاضي شهادة الزور والزوج يعلم ببطلان ذلك حل له الوطء. So this is from Abu Asim al-Dhahak ibn Makhlad. He's also one of the senior teacher of Bukhari. We also mix between Bukhari and the Prophet ﷺ, three people, Thulathiyat. People like Muslim and Abu Dawud, everybody, they narrate from someone from Abu Asim. Bukhari narrates from Abu Asim directly. He's Abu Asim al-Dhahak ibn Makhlad, died in the year 212. He narrates from Ibn Jurayj. Ibn Jurayj, Faqih of Makkah. In Makkah, he has same importance as Abu Hanifa in Kufa. You know, in the fiqh, in hadith, everything very strong person. He narrates from Ibn Abi Mulaika. Ibn Abi Mulaika's name is Abdullah Ibn Ubaidillah Ibn Abi Mulaika. Died in the year 117. He narrates from Zakwan. Zakwan is slave of Aisha anha, and he's the one Aisha asked him to write Mus'haf for her. So he wrote with his handwriting to his slave of Aisha. He narrated from Aisha that Allah the Messenger said, Al-Bikru. She said this hadith that women should be consulted is not one narration. So many narration. The bikr virgin girl should be asked. Her consent must be taken. So Aisha said, I said to the Prophet, but inna al-bikra tastahi. A virgin girl will be shying. The Prophet said, idnuha somatuha. Her permission is that he must. See, still Prophet insists that you must ask her. The Prophet never liked any marriage without consent. Never. And now Bukhari says, some people say, if somebody falls in love with our girl or a virgin, and she does not want to marry, she's so strong. She says, no, I'm not going to marry you. Then he makes a trick. And he brings two witnesses lying, and they say he had married her. فَأَدْرَكَتْ, and then she becomes adult. Because she was not adult, to become adult. Because you are not allowed to near to your wife unless she is adult, mature. And then after that, she accepted. Marriage never happened. She accepted after that, but without marriage. فَقَبِلَ قَاضِي شَهَادْتُور. The Qadi had accepted the witness of the lying, and husband knows it all made up. He is allowed to have relation with her. So that's what people have been doing tricks. The simple matter Bukhari wants to say is that you cannot marry someone without the consent of that person. And if you don't have consent, then the marriage is invalid. But all these fuqaha and jurists, they play trick around. Tell me, is this trick going to benefit anybody? Then all these girls basically have their consent doesn't matter. You just find two witnesses, go to the court, and you get her as wife. Then she does not exist in anything. You don't care about her. You just produce two people, go to the court. Now your husband and she's wife. She never wanted this. She never accepted. You become husband just because producing some false witnesses. So this system is not right. Because which happens when you make Islam as a worldly religion, just worldly system. You have question.
The bikr, she's married. She hasn't reached majority.
Yeah.
There hasn't been any relation with her. He goes to the Qadi and says, she's my wife.
Yeah.
She reaches majority, and then she says, I never agreed to this. I'm asking this question because if that's the case, of marrying a girl before she reaches majority, without consent because of this, or whatever. So um, the marriage would ultimately be not valid.
Not valid. But think this trick, because Qadi does not know, judge does not know. Judge only judges on the basis of the witness. You bring two witnesses to the court, beard people, turban, all these things. So judge think, they are so imam of the, I know really, one of the lady in one of the Arab country, she said to me her own story, and I don't want to mention the name. She was married with a big imam, and she told me her house because she trusted me because I'm doing all this work about the women and this and that. She called me to her house, and I was with other people. She told me that marriage was done in a secret, and the witness were other famous people. There was nobody from the nothing. That's how people do. Even the big people, leading people in this matter, they can be cheating. That's why Imam Malik is right. Marriage must be public. Even if you do with Imam, with Alim, with most famous person in the world, don't do marriage in secret. Secret.
But she may not even understand.
Yeah, nothing.
She may not even have the concept of what's going on.
This court business, I don't agree with that. Marriage, if two witnesses have no meaning in the marriage, it should be public event. It should be publicly known to everybody in the around. Any marriage which is not publicly done and just two witnesses, I actually don't consider marriage, because secret marriage is going to, to find two witnesses so easy. You take a girl in other city and you find two Muslims sitting in a park, beard. Oh, please, come and sit, I'm giving you some food. This is the woman we want to marry, and you are Muslim. Let's get married. I made her wife. She's fine. And these two people are there. Technically, marriage is fine. Now you think your wife. I don't like this thing. Where she lives, where you live, that society should know that you are married. Make it clear. Just finding two witnesses, like I mentioned, this Imam Alim. He got two witnesses. He's in Middle East. I know what witnesses are from. There are also ulama, but they're not from Middle East. They're from Pakistan and India. They happen to be in a conference, and they are his friend. He calls them in a hotel, and they get married. People around, nobody knows. It all marriage happening, like that. So technically, you are right, but marriage is not something technical. Marriage is proper, something a real fact. So I never allow a marriage. I actually follow Imam Malik's madhab. Imam Malik's opinion is the marriage must be public. Simple, but yeah.
Two witnesses, the two false witnesses are produced in front of the judge. Why does the judge also have testimony of the girl?
No, she will deny, because that's how the way of the court is. In the court, somebody comes, I said, I married this girl. She will say, I did not marry you. So what the dispute? One person claims, one person agree. So the way is that the one who makes claim, he has to produce witness. If he produces witness and judge satisfied, if he does not produce witness, then the other person will ask to make oath. Like somebody says that this car is mine, and you say no, it is not yours, it is mine, and you go to the court, then judge will ask me my witness, whatever document. If I produce all the documents, that is my car. Judge does not know whose car is. Judge will judge on the basis of the witness. This person is clever man. He got two witnesses. He knows judge is impressed by burden and turban and beard. He brings turban and beard and go to the court. Maybe guardian also denies, but there are two witnesses. The judge will think that the guardian just does not want this marriage. Judge will judge on the basis of the witness. That my thinking. That Bukhari's way is, she's not your wife. You cannot have relation. Just all this false story cannot make her your wife. My thinking is different. I say marriage must be public. Two witness, three witness don't mean anything. It must be properly done in public.
Sitting in the masjid one day, couple comes in for marriage, and they, they're just people scattered around the masjid. They come with no witnesses. They come with no witnesses, and they say, "We need you to witness this marriage." They don't know this. They don't know this couple. They don't know the groom. They don't know the man, etc. Is this really?
No, Imam should not accept. Imam must make very clear that who are the local people. Where are you coming from? What the reason you marrying in a masjid which is not your masjid? Why you're not marrying in your local masjid? Imam should be careful because there is so much cheating going on in this world. Sometimes people can influence the girl, and some money or anything can happen. The Imam should be careful. Don't conduct a marriage which does not belong locally to your area. Find out what happening. Find out the case.
No,
Truth really is.
no.
Truth really is. Malik said, marriage is not witness. Marriage is a public. It doesn't matter how many witnesses you've got. What matters is it should be done in a public where everybody knows. Means public should be witness, not two people. That's what should happen. It should be huge number of the people. Proper like the family, the people feast. That's why the Prophet want walima. Everybody knows that he got married, walima, celebration, all those things. Then it's a marriage. You make a marriage secret. You are from New Jersey, then you go to Chicago and you go in the street, find two bearded people, you marry in the street and now become husband and wife. That is not what marriage means. Marriage should be celebrated. Marriage should be known to everybody. Your question? Because she is one of the disputing party. Disputing party, both are equal.
She knows she didn't get married.
But how can judge know? She can lie. How can judge know who's lying, who's not lying? Judge who is going to make judgment on the basis of the evidence. The woman also can lie. Could be that she's married and for some reason she wants to deny. How can we know? The court only judges on the basis of the evidence. He has got two witnesses. She has no witness, no one to defend. Then judge will judge.
So from that perspective, then the Hanafi judges are correct because they can only make the ruling based on what is apparent.
Hanafi jurist, judge is right. But problem is that Hanafi people say now this person can have relation with her. Now he think because of all this trick, she became my wife. Bukhari want to say, no, after all this trick, still she's not your wife. The Prophet, if I judge something wrongly, it never becomes mine. He should know it is haram.
You know the scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you know that it's a trick, then of course,
Yeah.
the judge would then.
Judge not know, but this person knows. This person knows. He should not. Whatever he's doing is zina. He is not. Sorry. Bukhari is saying that this person, by doing all this trick, she does not become his wife. That's what he wants to say. So it is between you and your Lord. You should all the relations haram. But jurists say she becomes wife. That's what Bukhari is angry. Because you say she wants wife. Yeah.
Other times when we're going over the Bible Nas part, when Imam Bukhari narrates references Bible Nas, the following parts to me seem so abhorrent, so evil. I just don't understand how that narrative even passes, a litmus test. You know what I mean? It's so obviously wrong and so evil.
Yeah, it is right. But thing is, what the Hanafi people say is the judgment of the judge creates reality. Otherwise, we never can know the correction. We never can correct anything. Judge said that judgment will accept. Now she will be tied. We don't know what to do. Now it between basically Hanafi people say in this world she's wife. What is the truth? Allah knows the best. We don't worry about it. In this world, if children are born, they are legal children. They will inherit the father and mother. That's what they say. Because we are concerned about this world. We are not concerned about the hereafter. In the hereafter, he is going to get sin. But in this world, she is his wife.
What if the girl's never been raised cognitively to critically think about marriage? So in remote countries like subcontinent, they're raised in a way psychologically that you cannot really question the decision making of your father. So and whatever your father says, and she's not really that critically educated to even question it. So what happens a lot of times, people from here will go there, and people will have problems here because those people or they cannot do research here, and they probably give some dollars and euros and waive off their passports, and they can just get their girl.
Yeah, this happening so much really. I know in Oxford there are people who married in Pakistan, bring the girls, and girls are actually crying every day because they never know what is going to happen. This is all a money business. Because people who live in West, like in England, they have dollars, they have pounds. They go to a poor family in Pakistan and India. They give some money to the father. He becomes very happy. Oh, he's such a nice person. Make party, everything. I want to marry your daughter. He think, oh, my daughter now will go to America and become rich and wealthy, and her fortune will change. And this person just playing out trick. One of my students, she's in Delhi. She said to me, somebody from America wants to marry her, and he wants to come to her and marry in India. I said, don't do this thing. Tell him that he invites you, calls you in America. You come there, see the family, see where he lives, and then make marry in India, in England, in America, in the court there, arrested properly. If something goes wrong, you can prove. If he comes to Delhi and marries you and provides hotel and stays few days, and then he will come to America and tell, oh, I'm making effort to get a visa for you and this thing, but difficult, I'll come again for every 1 month to spend some time you because you are my wife and this and that. And then when he's tired of you, he will forget you. This is what's going to happen. So I told her, don't marry. Treat him, come here, ask him, then see, then marry in the court properly. You get a proper document. That she's going to do this. Otherwise, I said, understand properly. This world is not as you see the people. They could be very good people looking, but in the end, and when people make like that, you see, many people run away. When somebody says, I want to get married with proper documents registered in the court, many of these people who want to India and Pakistan, they will not marry. They think India, Pakistan, easy thing, marry and get desire fulfilled, and then leave them. That's what they want. So we have to teach all these women in India and Pakistan, be careful. So much cheating going on in the world, so much cheating. People don't know who she is. What they know is she's from the family of Ja'far ibn Abi Talib. So from a noble family, she's from noble family, from Banu Hashim. Still, she's scared that her wali is going to marry her without consent. See, if people can do this with Bani Hashim, see, it can happen. And she's seeking protection not from her family. It means the husband, somehow the wali has made all the Banu Hashim with him. She asked somebody from Ansar, two people, to protect her. You can imagine how, and this early time of Medina, early generation, she cannot get protection by the people of Banu Hashim. She's asking two Ansari to come and give protection. You can imagine how people play all the tricks. So this person made all the Banu Hashim to support him. And this girl left alone. But she's clever. At least she stood up for herself. She made this messenger send. Women should be brave like that. They should be strong and they should make effort. Then you'll see. But if you are, very weak and some miss you, everything surrendering, then yeah, people will keep cheating. But this girl is fine. She sent messenger to someone else, to other family. And they supported her. They said, no, they can't do this. Because the Prophet, to see, so she's strong.
Trust the system.
Yeah. So, them thanks. So these girls they are not stupid. They are learned people. She knows what the rule is. So she knows how to deal with that. So immediately she said, so she's not happy. So you can see really people cannot force anybody to marry. In our culture, in India and Pakistan, anybody can force anybody to marry. And they have no voice. Nothing will happen. Okay. What's the question?
Sometimes it looks like the whole thing is from the Messenger Sallallahu. How do you decipher what were the comments and
Oh no. When it comes after Hadith, قال بعض الناس, that's what Bukhari says. Yes, look, Bukhari brings Hadith, then after that he commenting. He said this what Hadith says, and some people say something else. So it is very clear. Bukhari does not mix anything. Other people confuse, but Bukhari is very, very clear. Hadith ends here, and now Bukhari comments that some people said قال بعض الناس, some people said this. Abu Zaisa, चलिए थोड़ा सा हम खत्म कर भाई तो आराम कर आप कीजिए. Because the thing is, if people don't want to think, then you can keep teaching, nothing will happen. I always say women should have thinking. They should understand what their rights are properly, and they should stand for that. Then nothing will happen. No cheating. Yeah.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. We have 10 hadith left, inshallah. We did 12 today. So tomorrow we will finish, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.